Today, I'm going to cover Google Analytics and how to set up audiences for your remarketing. It's quite important that you set these audiences up, and everybody will have their own audiences. It doesn't mean that what I'm showing you right now will be applicable to you, but for majority of the cases, it will be, because I'm going to go through some basic one, and very simple and easy to set up, so you don't get confused and you can get started. Analytics is your dashboard, the eyes and the ears of your Google Ads. And what we do is we link Analytics and Google Ads together, because we need to bring in the data from Analytics into Google Ads. And audiences, events, goals, we can import them as well to get a bird's eye view of your user activity on your website or app. So today what we'll do is we'll start off with I'll start off with the audience which I hate the most. Those are the bouncers who bounce off the website after 5 seconds or so. How dare they? And I also used to hate bouncers when I used to play cricket. I used to hate them because when I used to play, we didn't have any helmets. So if we didn't duck out of the way, we'll get it on the head. So let's start with the bouncers. Okay, so what you do is you go to your under property settings, under audiences, audience definitions, and then audience. And then we go over here. I mean, there are some already set up before. Ignore these. You will probably have a blank one because there won't be anything in here. You go to new audience, or you can import from gallery as well. There are lots of other people who have kindly shared their audiences. It's all pre-built. All you do is import them. You don't need to do anything and you're good to go. There are loads in here, right? I'm going to close this because I don't want to give you the fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish. New audience. Now you will have create new or import segment, and then you've got recommended audiences in here as well. New, all users, new users. These are the visitors, and if you're not sure about what this is, you can hover the mouse over that little question mark bubble, and it's going to give you the description. Returning users, users who completed a goal, conversions, and so on. We're gonna go create new. Now this is where you might find a bit more confusing, but what you want to do is to ignore everything, just follow what I'm showing you to get you started at least. Then you can read or learn a bit more about some advanced strategies on how to set up an audience. So we're going to build up our first audience. We go to advanced and we go under conditions and we change the sessions to users. Fairly straightforward. And then you go into add content, and I'm going to type in bouncers. Per session or per user. Why is that not giving me the bounces? Sorry, not the bounces. I'm doing it completely the wrong way. Time on page. Per user or per session. Less than 5 seconds. You apply. Then you can have a membership duration list. So 30 days is fine. And then you go to your you can call it whatever you like, really, or time on site. Let's do it time on site for now. We'll do the time on page less than 5 seconds. And then what you got is you've got this all set up. Then you must, I'm not going to go in there now because I've got other accounts as well with the Google ID. This is just my test account. So you must go in there and add it to your Google Ads account, because if you don't, then it's not going to go into your Google Ads account. I'm going to cancel this, but I will show you another audience. I'll show you a few audience so you can see how we do this. Same again. You go into that, and then we change this to users, and then in fact session duration is the one I was looking for. That's the one. You got all these different metrics per user, per session. You can decide per session less than, let's say 10 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever you want, and then you apply. You can then go into your duration list, and then you can call them. If you want to classify them as bounces, we can. Less than 10 seconds. And then you go next step and you save them into your audience destination. The other thing which you can do is page views as well. You go into, so what we are doing is we're creating all these audiences, and I'm going to show you in another session how we then put all of these audiences as in observation mode to our campaigns. So then you can see what's happening and what's not happening. Create new conditions, page views. Now, if I want to see how many people visited more than 2 pages or less than 2 pages, and you can have a series of these audiences, 2, 4, 6, or 2, 6, 12, or however many, depending on how your website is. 10, very few people have it, but 2, 4, 6 is quite a good number. You can create these audiences, and you've got your membership number, and then you got you name your audience as what the condition is. So I will just put in as page views greater than 2. You can also do a 3-day list. So if I want to see the duration as 3 days, and then I can make another one as 7 days, where I will just change that to 7 and do that. Or I can make a membership list of 30 days. So then what you can bid differently, because someone who has been to your site and spent more stayed on the site for a certain number of time and viewed more than 2 pages in the last 3 days is a lot more valuable than somebody who had taken the same action 30 days ago. So this way you can have as many lists as you like. It doesn't cost, there is a limit to it. I can't remember the exact number, but there are plenty. You won't run out of it. And then this is how you create all your audience list in Google Analytics. All you must do is to make sure that you import them. You just need to check that box to Google Ads. Hi Adam, is goal conversion data within Analytics enough info to support display ad remarketing, or do you need to set up an audience based on those goals and then import them into Google Ads? Well, what we are trying to do here, Adam, is not only remarket to those visitors who have come through to our website only via Google Ads, but you will have also other channels where you are getting the ads, the traffic from. So you'll have email list, direct, organic, social, brand, or wherever you're getting this traffic from. So you need to remarket to anybody who has been to your website, whether they came from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever. Put all the tags. I mean, on our side, we've got tags for Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, or all sorts. Wherever I can find a pixel and we've got an account, put it on. It doesn't really matter, even if we are not using them for running ads, but at least we are pixeling them in. But with Google Analytics, as soon as they come in, they are on your website and then they are pixeled in. So this is why we would use analytics to run it. Now, goal conversion is a different matter. What you can do is, if you find an audience where the goal conversion rate is very high, that means they are very interacted and engaged. What I mean by that is, if I come to your website, Adam, and I scroll to the bottom of the page, if you've set that up as a goal, I click a video play button, that's a goal. I stay on the website for 6 minutes, that could be a goal. Or I visit multiple pages. Now, I showed you guys how to put those value for each goals. The more goals I am achieving, the more valuable I am as an audience to you. And then when you bring that in and you see in your Google Ads dashboard that these conversions, which are not in the conversion column but in the all conversions column, you can see that this campaign or this ad group or this audience is giving me the most valuable value for goals. You bid very aggressively, so you know that you are going after the best possible traffic.